Hi there. In this video, we want to just have a quick look at how to deal with equations that you see in algebra where you have a fraction. And sometimes these can be frustrating. Um, there's different ways to do these kinds of problems, and I'll go through three examples with you. If you saw a question like the one right here, one way to do it would be to, bring the x over 2 over to this side, which would be negative x over 2 or minus x over 2, find a common denominator and figure it out from there. But in this lesson here today with these three examples, what I'm going to do is just show you a quick way that I guess you could say gets rid of the fraction. I don't know if that's the right term or if you like that term, but getting rid of a fraction is quite a nice thing, and you don't have to deal with that denominator. So here's how you would do it. You look at the denominator of these two, and the denominator of 1 is really just 1. And you think about what number could 4 and 2 multiply to become? What could 4 and 2 multiply to become? And you might have already said it in your mind, but the number would be 8. And if you multiply this and this and this, if you multiply everything here on both sides by 8, watch what happens. So I'm just going to show that we're multiplying by 8. I'll just put a bracket here and say we're multiplying that by 8. We're multiplying this by 8. And we're also multiplying this by 8. Okay? So let's do that. If we have 8 over here and 4, well, 8 divided by 4 works really nicely. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we'd have 2x right here. I'm going to write that down. Wow, look at that. No fraction, people. And over here, we have 8 on the numerator and 2 on the bottom in the denominator. 8 divided by 2 is 4, so we have 4x here. And over here, we just have 8 times 1. Now, if you were asked to solve this, wouldn't you rather solve this rather than this one over here? I would, because look there's no fraction anymore. We've basically gotten rid of it. Okay, so now we just have to solve for x and we're done. And this is basically algebra that you probably have checked out before on an earlier video. So let's get the x's put together here. I'll bring the 4x over to the 2x here. So we'll subtract 4x from both sides. That will get rid of it here. We'll be left with 8 all by itself. And over here we have 2 minus 4, which is negative 2x. And now the last step is get x all by itself. How do you do that? Divide both sides by negative 2. Divide both sides by negative 2. That will leave us with 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. And we're done this question. Okay? If you wanted to, you could quickly check. I don't know if your teacher likes you doing this, but you could quickly check and say, okay, well, x is negative 4, so negative 4 over 4. I just put a negative 4 where I see the x here. And on this side, we have negative 4 over 2 plus 1. Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2 plus 1. Let's see if both sides equal each other. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. And these sides work. So our check is good. Okay? So that's one way of dealing with fractions. And let's try it again. Let's try that same procedure here. Okay, I'll get a blue pen. And what could we multiply 4, 3, and 6? What could they all multiply to become? Well, they could all become 12, right? 4 times 3 is 12. 6 times 2 is 12. So 12 is a great number to put. So remember, put brackets around each one. Just show that we're multiplying by 12. Okay, we're going to multiply everything by 12. Everything by 12. So what do we get? Well, 12 divided by 4 is 3. And don't forget, we still had a 3a there. We'll multiply that next. We're just showing our steps. We have a minus sign. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And we had 2a there. Okay, hopefully I won't run out of room here. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So we'll go 2 times 5. And over here, 12 times a is just 12a. Plus 12a. We just squeezed that in there. Yay. Okay, let's multiply everything out. 3 times 3 is 9. Don't forget the a. 4 times 2 is 8. A. 2 times 5 is 10. And 12a. Now this question is looking so much more simple than it originally did. See the brackets? See the fractions are no longer there. Let's put all of the like terms together, which are all these a's. So 9a minus 8a is just a. Okay? And we're not quite done. We have to get rid of this 12a here. I'm going to bring it over to the other side. So minus 12a, that gets rid of it there. And minus 12a here. That leaves us with minus or negative 11a is equal to 10. So our final answer, we're going to divide both sides by negative 11. So the final answer would be negative 10 over 11. Not a pretty answer. It's not an answer that I even want to check right now and show you. But we could. But if we don't have to, I'm not going to bother. Okay? This is our answer. If you ever wanted to check this out, if you ever wanted a website, there's a really good website online. I think it's called HypoLab, and you can actually punch in the question and it will show you the steps and solve for A, for example. And yeah, you would see that negative 10 over 11 is the right answer in this case. All right, let's try this question. We have 6 and 3 in the denominator. We want to get rid of that. Now, these could both multiply to become 6. So I'm just going to show that just by doing this. And don't forget this 2 here too. And then what we're going to do is multiply it all out. Well, 6 divided by 6 is just 1, so that's nice and easy. We don't need to write the 1 there. And over here we have a minus sign. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And there's also an x here, so 2x is equal to 6 times 2 is 12. Now look at this, so much easier than what it looked like. Doing that one step makes this so much easier. Let's put like terms together. So x minus 2x is negative x. And let's put the 1, let's bring the 1 over to the 12 here, okay? We're going to subtract 1 from both sides. So that would give us 11. And our final answer, well, we have a negative x here. We want our final answer to be a positive x equals something. So divide both sides. It's like an invisible 1 here. So divide both sides by that negative 1. That would leave us with our final answer of x equals negative 11. We would be done. We could check this out if we wanted to. Should we do it real quick? No, let's not bother. I think that was the last question here, and you are done. So that is how to do algebraic equations when you have fractions. It's just a quick way of dealing with those fractions. Hope that helps. Have a great day, everyone.